Hello. The ice cream truck has just gone past. Mask and hand sanitizers just for attention. I don't really want to say it, but I think you know what this video is going to be about. I realise that some of you may be going through the worst experience of your life, which is no laughing matter. I just find it a bit hard to be serious sometimes. And I want to just share with you my experience, my own experience of going through a very, very hard time that I have been through before in my past that I have never really shared with you guys on camera because it is so very personal to me and something that makes me very emotional and very upset to talk about. But I feel like now is the right time with the happenings of the world. I just feel like I need to share a little bit about everything with you guys. So here goes. So it looks like we're all going to be shut down and we're all going to have to be quarantined. And I know that as of today, that doesn't apply for hairdressers yet, but I think we all kind of know where it's headed. Like, I think we're days away really from all being shut down. We won't be able to work anymore. That means we won't be able to make money. And so that is obviously a huge problem for a lot of us. Some of us have businesses, mortgages, rent, lease on shops, car loans. Yeah, it's pretty serious, and maybe you will lose it all. Like, that is a reality. It's not great, but what can we do? It's kind of out of everyone's hands now, isn't it? So I just wanted to share with you my thoughts and my experience of my own personal rock bottom, which happened for me a few years ago with my business. It was the worst experience that ever happened to me for so many reasons, like so many reasons. I'm going to just kind of tell you what happened just briefly, but it is a tip of the iceberg of what happened to me. Like, not even a quarter of what happened to me, but I'll just lay out the facts. And I want you to just know that the sun will shine again, as it did for me, At that time, it was the worst time of my life. I did not ever think anything good was ever going to happen for me ever again. But here I am. And yeah, the sun will shine again. I really do believe that my hardship is the reason for my success. I think without going through that horrible time that I went through, I would not be here where I am today. I simply wouldn't. So I am in a way grateful for it because it gave me a new perspective on things and it changed the way I look at life. So I want to just share that with you. So facts. I set up a business, a hair salon, when I was 22 years old. I'm now 28. I haven't spoken about it really because it's very personal to me and it's a very painful thing that happened to me. So it's hard for me to talk about, even with people that I know, because it just brings up a lot of, pain for me. So when I was 22, I set up my hair salon and I had it for 2.5 years. And in that time, I had my daughter Shelby as well. When I left that business, she was 1. I walked away from that business in so much debt and financial uncertainty and hardship. I cannot even explain the stress, the sick feeling in my stomach of not knowing if I was going to lose my house. I had a nice car that I'd bought from the business. I had to sell it for less than I paid for it. We had a boat that we had to sell as well, which was heartbreaking because we loved that boat. It was a piece of, it was something that we did together as a family that we loved to do together, so we had to sell our boat. I had to borrow money from my family just to help me not go bankrupt. Not really to help me personally, just to, pay for the business. I tried to access my super, but unfortunately I wasn't poor enough, apparently. I had multiple different debt collectors after me because I could not pay my bills. I couldn't pay my phone bill. I couldn't pay my electricity bill. I could not pay my water bill. Basically, you name it, I could not pay it. So I lived in fear of my letterbox. I had that much anxiety that I could not check my letterbox. I felt sick in my stomach every day I woke up and every day I went to bed. It was just a constant state of fucked. Excuse me. It was not good. Every single day I woke up, I wondered if today would be the day that I just called bankrupt and give up. Every single day I wanted to do that. The only thing that stopped me was my husband, who was there for me through it all, who just, was in the background, just a little voice in my head that just said, keep going, he was there for me for that. So I need to give him a huge thank you, and I don't really give him enough credit, I think, but he was there for me in the worst times ever. I basically had to live off $50 a week for over a year after that. And I mean, that's all, $50 a week for food. So I've had a hard time. It can be done. It's not a fun life to live, but it made me appreciate the small things every day, like being able to afford Wonder White bread instead of 99 cents, the cheapest bread that you can find. When I buy Wonder White or Super Soft, that is a luxury for me. I think, yep, I've made it. Being able to buy a mop and sponges to clean my house with. Those were luxury items for me back then, because when you've only got $50, that's your food money. So $10 for a mop is coming out of the money that is going literally towards food. So I was mopping my floors with towels and cleaning my dishes with, face washes. Doing my laundry with $1 dishwashing liquid from Aldi's. Small luxuries that I now appreciate, like being able to buy my daughter clothes from Target, new clothes, not having to go down to the op shop and buy secondhand. Filling my car up with fuel, being able to actually fill the tank of my car. These are the small luxuries that you just take for granted when you haven't had such a struggle. What I have learned from that experience, though, has been irreplaceable, and the way that I look at things is different now, and the way that I appreciate things is just so much more. It's okay if I lose my house. I still have my family. It's okay if I'm not driving my dream car. At least I have a car that works. I went from having a lovely car to driving shitboxes, complete shitboxes that would hardly work. Sometimes I couldn't get to work. I once had to sell something on Gumtree so that I could afford a train ticket so that I could actually get to work. I can live without a boat. It was sad to see it go, but I can live without a boat. I can live without a car. I can even live without a house. I know that. I've proven that. I've moved to Tasmania and lived out of a caravan for 3 months. And you know what? It was fun. I would not change that. I would not change that experience for anything. I have no regrets. I went there, I tried it, it didn't work out for me. And so I came back, and you recover from it. It wasn't the end of me. It's okay if you throw away all your furniture and you come back and you have nothing, because guess what? Curbside collection. And friends and family. People help you. It's okay if life doesn't go to plan, because we have fun along the way. So you're gonna have to just kind of look at the positives. Everyone's gonna be a bit sad for a little while, I think. We're all gonna have, a sad day. And you can have that sad day, just don't stay there. Just, have your moment and then come back and think, all right, positive thoughts. What can I do? How can I turn this around? Think about the worst thing that can happen to you, whether it's you lose your house or you're going bankrupt or whatever, and start planning and find the positive in that. So think about how free you would be if you didn't have a house. Think about when you go to work to earn money to pay for things that you don't have time to use because you're too busy going to work to pay for the things. You know what I mean? Think about how free you would be if you didn't have to work to pay for all these things, because at the end of the day, they're just things. It's just stuff. You know, I'm not afraid anymore because I have been through it. And it's hard and it's sad, but there are also opportunities and great new experiences that kind of come from being put in that situation because you're not comfortable. So you've got to make things, you've got to be resourceful, you've got to get creative. Like, if you're homeless, maybe you can live in a tent. Where would you want to live? Would you want to live in the beach, in the bush? Would you go backpacking across Australia? I seen on the news a while ago, a couple that were cycling around Australia with their family, with their 3 children, just traveling Australia on their bicycles, living off Centrelink money. How free would you feel? How amazing that would be to just travel around Australia on a bike. No mortgage, no rent, no nothing, no worries, just freedom. It's easy to think about that great scenario where, someone says to you, what would you do if you had $1 million tomorrow? And you get all happy and you start thinking about all this stuff that you would buy. And it's all just stuff. What if I said to you, what if you had nothing tomorrow? Think about that. What would you do if you had nothing tomorrow? Go for a walk? Go to the beach? Look for the opportunities. And if you can hold on to your business through this quiet time, I would suggest use this time to be productive and learn about how you can make your business grow. We are so fortunate that we have got the internet, and we've got, we can be quarantined, we can be housebound, and we've got all this stuff on the computer that we can learn, we can educate ourselves, we can try and keep in touch on your Facebook page. Maybe you want to make some videos, do some product reviews, engage a little bit more with your audience. Take advantage of this time, because a lot of the time I think we're just too busy to really focus on building our business and think about all the behind the scenes kind of stuff that gets forgotten about. So take this time to work on that. I've always found it a good way to build rapport is sharing a little bit of free information via video, sharing helpful tips and hair hacks, that kind of thing. I plan to use this time to work on building my YouTube channel, to share a little bit of my knowledge and my experiences that I can share with you that will help you. I am going to be doing an online education course that will be up shortly on my website, so we'll be doing some online training as well. And just working on building my website and all that kind of stuff. And I'm really sorry if you are being impacted really badly by what's going on in the world at the moment. I feel for you. I understand. I've been there. No matter how bad you think things are, you can always come back. There is nothing that you cannot come back from. And every bad experience that I have ever had, I've learned from, and it's contributed to what I'm doing now. There's no way that I would be doing what I'm doing now if I hadn't had those bad things happen to me. And I appreciate things so much more. So much more. When I lived in the caravan in Tasmania for 3 months, I didn't have a toilet or a shower. I appreciate toilets and showers now. And I can laugh about it now because it's over. At the time, it's a little bit annoying, but now we can laugh. I hope that that's just given you a little bit of positivity. Just use this time effectively. Use this time to, think of positive ways that you can build your business. And if it all goes to shit, you'll still be okay. You will. It might get a little uncomfortable for you for a little while, but you are going to come out the other side of this. You are going to be okay, and businesses are overrated. I had it and I hated it. You know what? You think you own the business, you think, oh, I have a business. Really? Do you know what? I felt like that business owned me. I was a slave to that business, and now I have my freedom. I might not have a business, I might not have a nice car, I might not live in a mansion, but I do have my freedom, and I cannot put a price on that and how happy that makes me. Stay positive.